Can I trade Forex with $100? That is probably one of the most asked questions people do ask me whenever I tell them, oh, I trade. It's like, oh, can I trade with 100? Can I trade with 1,000 or 10,000? And the short answer is usually maybe, because you have to contextualize everything. You can't just say yes or no. Then it comes to, what do you mean maybe? Can you explain to me exactly what the process is that will enable me to be able to trade with $100? The fact is, in America, you can't trade Forex with $100. That is the short answer. You can't. It's impossible. Why? Because a lot of brokers, there's something we call leverage, which means if you have $20,000 in your account, the broker lends you, so they double that money you have in your account, which enables you to trade way past your $20,000. So it becomes cheaper for you to afford. Initially, it's not going to be worth that much. It becomes cheaper for you to afford whatever it is that you want to purchase. But the problem is, in America, a lot of times you have brokers that usually, when it comes to trading Forex, it's usually 1 to 50, 1 to 25, or 1 to 100, which means your $100, it's not going to be able to do much. So for every $1 you have, you are only going to be able to spend times 5 of that. Then comes offshore brokers or unregulated brokers, because the brokers, for you to be a broker, you have to be regulated by the SEC, which means you have to follow certain rules, and you also have to have certain rules that are set in place for your customers, because the government doesn't want people just throwing money in and losing money every single day, which a lot of people still do. So you make them to have a certain minimum, and also you have certain advice. And when you're signing the form, it tells you, do not use your life savings for trading. Use something that you're willing to lose, because trading is not, of course, it is not guaranteed, which rules out US brokers, because you can't, it's impossible. Then comes unregulated brokers / offshore brokers. So these are brokers that you usually find in like islands or different continents, and they offer very, 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 very good leverage, and they give you 1 to 500 or 1 to 300, which means for every dollar you have, you can spend close to 300 of that. Here comes the big question. Unregulated brokers, does that mean my money can go anytime? Technically, yes, but a lot of times people do go, and when they want to sign up for such brokers, you need to do your research, of course. The one parameter a lot of people use is they check how long the broker has been in existence. And it's like, well, if you've been there for like 4, 5 or 6 years, they can't just take my money and disappear. Yes and no. There are companies that have lasted for like 20, 40 years, and all of a sudden they just go underwater and never to be seen again. So you can't really bank a lot on that, which means you have to have what I call a little bit of faith that these companies are not going to just disappear overnight. So my own take is, you have $100, you can't use US brokers, which means you have to use unregulated brokers or offshore brokers, which a lot of times they work. You can get your money in through Bitcoin, wire transfer, whatever. Sometimes they even let you use your credit cards to pay or to make the deposit. And then you can also get your money out through Bitcoin, and they can send it to your account. There are multiple ways, but most times a lot of people use Bitcoin to withdraw that money from those brokers. My thing is, if you have $100 to trade, you shouldn't be trading in the first place. You shouldn't be trading live money in the first place. You should focus solely on using demo accounts to trade. And this is one of the arguments a lot of people say is, I want to put some skin in the game. I want to feel like I have something in it. It's like, that is a stupid argument to have, because if you have skin in the game and your money gets taken, now you've lost a pound of flesh. The best thing for people to do, if you have just $100 to trade, is go ahead and put that money into your account. Do not spend it. The best thing for you to do is actually use that $100 to educate yourself. And the truth of the matter is, there are no courses out there that cost $100. Most courses are going to cost you at least $300, $400, or $500. Sometimes you even go up to $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 for somebody to teach you how to trade. And my go-to place that I usually go to, if I'm to start again, is go to YouTube. There are so many, there are platters of courses online that you can use for free. Just go there, study it for free, and use it. Other times people was like, oh, you can go to Udemy and buy some course for like $10, $15. But the truth of the matter is, whatever it is they're teaching in Udemy is just rebranded and repackaged from what they got on YouTube. I've got just one that you can just go, ICT content. There are multiple strategies you can use over there. You go there, you learn. After learning, you have to then open a demo account. I usually say the minimum amount you can use. If it's 5,000, use 5,000. If it's 10, use 10. And one mistake a lot of people make is they go onto demo accounts and they use 100,000 or $1 million. Reality is you're not going to be trading with that amount of money. So you use that, you study, and when you're consistent every single month for at least 3 to 6 months, that's when you can start exploring options on how to actually get funded or actually put money into the game and, start making real money from that stuff. That is up to you. Short answer to the question is, can I trade with $100? Yes. Should you trade with $100? No. Do not. That's just you throwing your money away, because I promise you are going to lose that money. There are, of course, videos online of people coming out. I turned $100 into like 300,000, into $1 million, into a gazillion. But that's the thing, is how many people come out to do that? Very small amounts of, very, very tiny, less than 1% of the entire traders in the world. I've actually thrown $100 into like $1 million. It doesn't happen that often. So you can say, well, but I could be the exception. I'm just giving you something that is more realistic, because at that point in time, go for the moon first. When you get to the moon, try to go to the next planet before you try to go to another star, which means you're leaving our solar system to go to another one. So be very, very smart with this. If you have $100, don't trade with it. Just go and start doing demo accounts. And when you get more comfortable, whenever that time is, then you can maybe get funded accounts, or you can then, if you have more money you've saved up and you think you can lose that money, you can then decide to put that money into a brokerage account and trade with it. Hopefully you find that video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Leave the video with a like. If you're new, leave that subscribe button. Also, leave your comments down below if you've got any questions related to Forex or a piss. Oh,